Hello students, very good morning. We are learning the chapter Microorganisms, Friend and Foe. So in the previous class we have studied about what are microbes, where are they present, and some of the uses of microorganisms we have studied. In today's class you are going to study about friendly microorganisms. That first one is making of curd and bread. So in the making of curd and bread, microorganisms plays an important role. So you have learnt in the class 7 that milk is turned into curd by a bacteria. Maybe you saw that your mother adding a little curd to warm milk to set curd for the next day. So you know what happened to that milk? This curd contains several microorganisms. Of these, the bacterium lactobacillus, okay, it is a bacteria called as lactobacillus which promotes the formation of curd. So that bacteria, it multiply in the milk and it converts into curd. Here this bacteria will convert lactose sugar into lactic acid. You know that in the milk there is a presence of a sugar called as lactose. This bacteria will convert lactose into lactic acid. So bacteria are also involved in the making of cheese, pickles and many other food items. An important ingredient of rava idli and baturas. So it is curd. So can you guess why? So this bacteria and yeast are also helpful for fermentation of rice idlis and dosa batters. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ರೈಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ದೋಸೆಗೆ ಹಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ನೈಟೇ ರುಬ್ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಅಷ್ಟೊಳಗಡೆ ಫುಲ್ ಉಬ್ಬಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಂಗೈ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ fermentation. Even this bread also, in the manufacturing of this bread also, so they'll use yeast in the baking purpose. One activity here, so take half kg flour, atta or maida, add some sugar and mix with warm water, and you have to add a small amount of yeast powder that is available in the markets and need to make a soft dough. ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತ ಡೋ ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಟ್ಟನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2 hours? Do you find that dough is rising? Yes, of course. Okay, the dough will rise due to the action of the yeast. Yeast is used for baking purposes. Yeast reproduces rapidly and produces carbon dioxide during respiration. So bubbles of the gas. So the bubbles of the gas fills the dough and increases volume. So this is the basis of the use of yeast in the baking industry for making breads, pastries and cakes. Next one is commercial use of microorganisms. Microorganisms are used for the large scale production of alcohol, wine and acetic acid. Acetic acid means vinegar. So yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown on natural sugars. Okay, it grown on the natural sugars present in grains like barley, wheat, rice and crushed fruit juices. For example, if you take wine, so it is prepared from the grapes. And so if you take what is that, whiskey, so whiskey there are some other alcoholic brands like rum. So these are all produced by natural sugars present in the grains of barley, wheat and rice. Okay, alcohol is prepared from rice, barley and wheat, even from the wine also, sorry, even from the grapes. So the smell of the alcohol as sugar, it has been converted into alcohol by yeast. ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಶುಗರ್ನ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವುದು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ yeast. Okay, this process of conversion of sugar into alcohol, ಶುಗರ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, so we will call it as fermentation. So we will call it as a fermentation. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol. It is known as fermentation. So this was first discovered by Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation in 1857. Medicinal use of microorganisms. So whenever you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets, capsules or injections such as penicillin. Okay, penicillin adu ಒಂದು antibiotic. The source of these medicines is microorganisms. ನಾವು ಏನು ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತೀವಿ ಆಂಟಿಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ, so these are all microorganisms. So these medicines kill or stop the growth of the disease causing microorganisms. Actually ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಕೂಡ microorganisms. These microorganisms have a capacity to kill the other microorganisms which is causing a disease in our body. So these medicines kill or stop the growth of the disease causing microorganisms. These medicines are called antibiotics. So these days a number of antibiotics are being produced from bacteria and fungi. So some of them are streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin. These are the some of the examples of antibiotics which are made from the fungi and bacteria. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing a specific microorganisms. Suppose if we want to cure a bacterial disease, okay, we have to grow an fungi. Okay, ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಫಂಗೈನ ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು, so that fungi will kill the bacteria. ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಟೈಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸೊ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ ಆಂಟಿಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೇನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೇನಾದರೂ ಟೈಫಾಯ್ಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಪೆನಿಸಿಲಿನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಪೆನಿಸಿಲಿನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಫಂಗೈ. Okay, fungi which kills the bacteria. These both are microorganisms only. The one microorganism will kill the other microorganism. So that is called as antibiotics. And these are used to cure a variety of diseases. Antibiotics are even mixed with the feed of livestock and poultry to check microbial infection in animals. ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಪೌಲ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಸೊ ದೇ ಇಂಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಚೆಕ್ ದ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್. ಇವನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ antibiotics. This antibiotics was first discovered by Alexander Fleming. Okay, he is the one who discovered penicillin. It was the first antibiotic and it is produced by him, Alexander Fleming. He was working on the disease causing bacteria. Then he came to know about this penicillin antibiotic. For this he awarded Nobel Prize. He got a Nobel Prize for his discovery of an antibiotic. And students, it is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of qualified doctor, and also you must complete the course prescribed by the doctors. If you take antibiotics when not needed or in a wrong doses, it may make you drug less effective when you might need it in a ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್. ನಾವು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ತರ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು. ನಮ್ಗೆ ನೀಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡೆಡ್, ದೆನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಫೀವರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಸೋ antibiotics are taken unnecessarily may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. And antibiotics, however, are not effective against cold and flu, as these are caused by the virus. You know that normal cold and cough, it is caused by a virus. So if you take an antibiotic, it is not useful because it will fight against only bacteria, not against virus. You have to take another antiviral tablets or some other injections. Okay, it is very specific. Since so when a disease carrying microbe enters our body, the body produces antibodies. Antibodies means immunity. So for this situation, we can take example as coronavirus, right? So we have to build a immunity in our body. Even if we get the disease, we can fight against that disease very easily. So when a disease carrying microbe enters our body, the body produces antibodies to fight against the disease causing microbes, and the body also remembers how to fight the microbes. Okay, if the microbes if the microbes enters again, it will fight against the disease very easily. If dead or weakened microorganisms are introduced into a healthy body, the body fights and kill the invading bacteria by producing a suitable antibodies. ನಮ್ಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಯಿಲೆ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಈ ಪೋಲಿಯೋ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಬಿಲೋ 5 years, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಬಿಲೋ 5 years, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೈಸ್ಡ್, ರೈಟ್? ಪೋಲಿಯೋ ವೈರಸ್, so sorry, polio vaccine and some other vaccines. Why they'll inject or why they'll give vaccines for you? So in future you should not, even if you get the disease in your body, this polio vaccine will be there. So this will fight against the original polio which has attacked to you. These antibodies, okay, these antibodies will remain in the body and we are protected from the disease causing microbes forever. So even till death, so we can fight against that disease. ಓಕೆ, ನಮಗೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಯೋವರೆಗೂ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೀವಿ, ಔಷಧಿ. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಪೋಲಿಯೋ ವೈರಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ವೈರಸ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ, so it can't do anything because so we have produced immunity in our body, so that immunity will fight against that microbes. So this is how a vaccine works. Several diseases including cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and hepatitis can be prevented by vaccines. So idrinda ishtu diseases na ನಾವು vaccines ಇಂದ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. And you know that for corona also we are so many scientists are researching for that to find a vaccine for the corona, right? It is to fight against that disease. Students, look at the picture. His name is Edward Jenner. Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox in 1798. Smallpox nothing but ನಿಮಗೆ ಚಿಕ್ಕವಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹಾಕಿರತ್ತೆ, if you remember. So for that disease, it is a viral it is an smallpox, it is a viral disease, and for this he has discovered the vaccine. His name is Edward Jenner. In your childhood, you must have been given injections to protect yourself against several diseases, right? It is essential to protect all children against these diseases. Necessary vaccines are available in the nearby hospitals. You might have seen the advertisements on TV and newspapers regarding protection of children against polio under the Pulse Polio program, right? So Pulse Polio program, you all very well know about this. So this polio drops given to children are actually a vaccine. A worldwide campaign against smallpox has finally led to its eradication from most part of the world. And these days vaccines are made on a larger scale from microorganisms to protect human and other animals from several diseases. We'll continue some other uses of these microorganisms in the next class. I hope all of you have understood. Thank you.